Going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have trans swimmer Liathomas banned from competing in the worldwide competition. Now, Liathomas was a former UPenn swimming, and Liathomas actually was a 400th or 500th best male swimmer in the collegiate division. Then Liathomas decided to go over to the female team, just switched uniforms, and became number one. So in terms of, that is certainly what many people consider cheating, which is where all the controversy comes from. Because I don't believe in the beginning Leia didn't take any supplements. There's no surgery, so all the parts are still included. And it looks like some of the teammates are starting to actually reach out and they're actually starting to voice their concerns, which for a while they were not. When the University of Pennsylvania, which again, pretty, if you ask anyone about the background of University of Penn's, they're morally vacuous to say the least. Now, in this case, the girls on the female team, when Liathomas came in the locker room, they voiced their concerns. The school said, "Tough luck." They actually said, "You're the problem." So the girls, who had a biological male coming into the locker room, watching them all changed in their birthday suits, or lack of a suit perhaps, they were told that the girls, they're the problem, and they sent them to counseling. That's what happened. Perhaps the most prime example of blaming the victim. I can't think of a more accurate example of victim blaming in that case. I'm surprised the girls haven't sued the school, to be frank. Now, it looks like some of them are starting to speak up, and specifically Paula. And she actually spoke. I'm going to bring up this quick little summary of her. Now, she actually went to the U.S. What was this? She went before Congress to testify. So this is Paula Scallon.
I'm Paula Scanlon, a spokeswoman and advisor for the Independent Women's Forum, and a former NCAA athlete. I am here today to share my personal story. I started swimming at a very young age, and by age 8, I was swimming competitively, and by late middle school, I was devoting at least 20 hours per week to swimming. I gave up countless Christmas holidays, weekends, and social events to work towards my goal of swimming Division I. A dream that came true when I began swimming for the University of Pennsylvania. While I am not an NCAA champion, I hold the New England Independent School League record in the 400-yard freestyle relay, a record that has stood since March of 2017.
It's also a work ethic more Americans need. Very few people are actually willing to sacrifice darn near anything, yet alone holidays and grinding 20 hours a week on one specific craft to improve themselves.
In September of 2021, Liathomas began participating as a member of the Penn women's team. Leah, formerly Will, had personal best times in every freestyle event that were faster than the women's world records.
Again, this is when they were in college athletes. So in the college division, Leah was breaking world records for the female division. Who would have thought?
Once the season began, Thomas was leading the country in multiple events, while only placing in the top 500 in those events on the men's team. Thomas later became an NCAA champion in the 500-yard freestyle, the first NCAA champion in our women's team history program. While many of you already know this, what you do not know is the experiences of the women on the University of Pennsylvania swim team. My teammates and I were forced to undress in the presence of Leah, a 6'4" tall biological male, fully intact with male genitalia.
Now, where are all the people who, for decades, talked about safe spaces? Certainly, I thought everyone would agree that the restrooms and the facilities were supposed to be a safe space.
18 times per week. Some girls opted to change in bathroom stalls, and others used the family bathroom to avoid this. When we tried to voice our concerns to the athletic department, we were told that Leah's swimming and being in our locker room was a non-negotiable, and we were offered psychological services to attempt to re-educate us to become comfortable with the idea of undressing in front of a male.
It is astonishing how much our modern society is solely representing the book 1984 by George Orwell and surpassing it in terms of some of the themes and re-education in particular.
To sum up the university's response, we, the women, were the problem, not the victims. We were expected to conform, to move over, and shut up. Our feelings didn't matter. The university was gaslighting and fear-mongering women to validate the feelings and identity of a male. As an attempt to voice my concern about the situation we were forced into, revealing the unjust and unfair treatment, I wrote an op-ed for the Daily Pennsylvanian, the student-run newspaper. I approached this from a scientific, statistical perspective where I used my engineering background to discuss how Y chromosomes cannot be changed by any surgical procedure or systemic therapy. This biological fact lends itself to athletic advantages that cannot be mitigated by lowering testosterone levels.
She's got more guts than most people on college campuses who would have simply bent the knee and acquiesced to the other side of the political aisle, as this has become a political issue. And also, most college campuses are pretty much a lack of all diversity of thought. Unfortunately, it's pretty much an echo chamber for most people on the political left,
which are readily apparent in sports competitions and locker rooms. The Daily Pennsylvanian published my article on the evening of February 10th, 2022. Only a few hours later, my piece was retracted. I was given no notice nor reasoning. Again, I was silent.
Another theme in 1984, rewriting history and manipulating the newspapers and publications to have all the information just mysteriously vanish.
For my dissenting viewpoint and felt my First Amendment rights were denied by my university. This is representative of a greater issue, the destruction of free speech. Today, any discussion maintaining the sanctity of women's spaces is labeled transphobic, bigoted, and hateful. What's bigoted and hateful is the discrimination against women and the efforts to erase women and our equal opportunities, dignity, and safe spaces. One might ask, why do I speak so passionately about issues that seem hypothetical, or some may perceive as only impacting a small number of women? This is not hypothetical. This is real. I know women who have lost roster spots and spots on the podium. I know of women with sexual trauma who are adversely impacted by having biological males in their locker room without their consent. I know this because I am one of these women. I was sexually assaulted on June 3rd of 2016. I was only 16 years old. I was able to forgive my...
But remember, the school said she's the problem. She needs to be ready educated, you see. That's what the real issue, according to the school, is.
Hacker, but violence against women still exists. Let us not forget the viral Me Too movement that empowered female victims to speak up. It cast a spotlight on the widespread prevalence of sexual assault and abuse, including in scholarly and educational institutions. Individuals on this committee have previously stated violence against women is all too common.
Don't forget Loudoun County, where in Virginia you had a very similar issue, you had a boy dressing as a girl in this public school assault one girl, and the school covered it up, and he did it again. Because the school covered it up because they were worried it would make the topic look bad of having a trans individual in the female bathrooms.
I am grateful for those members who have brought awareness to the violence against women in the past, but unfortunately, there's still much to be done. As a sexual assault survivor, many policies pushed today completely ignore my experiences and many women like me. I ask the members of this committee, please consider this issue outside the lens of political affiliations and understand the true impact of ignoring the realities of womanhood. Future generations depend on us. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today.
So she's got a lot more guts than most people out there who have, again, come from college, you're surrounded by everyone with the same thought pattern. So it'll be interesting to see. So now, in terms of professionals, so going beyond the collegiate level, they banned liathomas from competing. Now, the interesting thing that I wonder is, will this go back to the NCAA on college campuses, or will they just keep the trend of allowing people to compete on any team they want? Or more logically, as many people are saying, why not have a third category where you would have a more even playing field because you would have biological men, biological women, and you would have a trans category for athletics. I think that'd be a lot less controversial than what's happening now, where you have people who have their opportunities stolen from them when there's a clear physical advantage. It'd be interesting to see what goes down from here. Thank Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so I especially appreciate you taking time to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like as well as comment. Your feedback is greatly appreciated as we make the show better and better every day. Really trying to get better at slowing down my pace of speech, so thanks to the comments, I know that it is something I need to focus on. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.